everybody. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. Thank you for joining us. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Okay, so if not for the existence of Aquaman 2, what we are about to talk about would be my least looked forward to movie of this year.
I
But
could say
because
I could
Aquaman
say.
2 exists, this is my second least
Yeah.
favorite looked forward to movie. Or second least look forward to movie, whatever. Point is, we're talking about the Marvels that neither Jovi and I really wanted to see. But I'm glad we're recording now. The weekend has passed. I know
Mhm.
it did as we thought it would do at the box
Yeah,
office and
which
critically.
is sad because
You think it's
uh
sad, bro?
I think it's sad because when you have a black woman director and you don't push a film, it
Mm-hmm.
just makes your agenda seem like you purposely didn't want
Oh,
this
we're
to
gonna get
do
into it.
well.
I'm gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And that's what it feels like, right? Like,
Yeah. So I mean, you know what? Like, if we had recorded this right after, I would have spent this entire time just going about bashing this movie just
mhm,
left to right.
mhm.
And I mean, I'm still gonna do that, but I'm a little more calm now, so my demeanor has calmed down.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna say I didn't like this movie for so many reasons.
Okay.
But before I get into everything I hate, if you're watching this now, you've probably heard the good thing about this movie has to be the character Miss Marvel. I didn't watch. Did you watch her show, Jovi? Miss Marvel, the show?
I didn't. I watched the first episode and couldn't really get past the kiddiness of it. Like it was not
Mm,
for us.
yeah, it was
And
marketed to
like it
younger
honestly
audiences.
was marketed to kids and teenagers. Which is fine. I just couldn't get past, which I'm gonna go back and watch it now because I actually enjoyed her.
Yeah,
So
no, so
yeah.
yeah, so at first I was a little confused because her powers are different than the comic book. So I was a little
Y-
confused on how like her powers were working, and I was interested in her origin
I
story,
want to
but
know,
I
yeah,
didn't
I want to
like
know
the removal of.
how she used them. I mean, she's we still saw big hands and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
So
they
I
were
mean, but I know that the actress, whose her name is Iman Vellani, if I'm saying this correctly,
mhm,
the actress is a huge MCU fan, kind of like Tom Holland was back in the day,
yeah,
and you can see it. She is excited to be there. She
yeah,
actually seems like the only one who actually wants to be in this movie.
right,
Probably because the other two actresses realized, like we realized, this movie has so many problems, and they probably didn't even want to be there. But
yeah.
she
You
was
could
good.
tell it was rewritten a few times.
A few? Okay, so this movie, I don't know. My thoughts are going to be all over the place, bro. I don't even know where I'm going to start.
Okay,
First of all, like Jovi just said, this movie had to be rewritten and reshot. It's obviously it was reshot
hmm
3 or 4 times. Like that's like I don't believe. Here's the first thing I'm going to say. I do not believe that Kevin Feige sat down and watched this movie from beginning to end as it is currently constructed. I don't believe he did.
mm,
He is stretched way too thin with all the Disney Plus shows and all the Marvel stuff, and the issues with Jonathan Majors and trying to figure out what they're gonna do. He has too much to do. I don't believe it. Do you remember when Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, that Sony movie with Andrew Garfield?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it was leaked that he had a bunch of notes for them,
yeah,
and all those notes made the movies better?
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff he said about that movie happened in this movie. The tone is all over the place.
It
It's
is.
just it's the
It is.
characters don't seem to make any sense. The villains are just dumb. Like, what are we doing here? This is a movie that if it came out in 2010, I think would be a lot more forgivable. But
Okay. Yeah.
after all the movies that have come out, they just made the same mistakes over and over again. Like, this isn't like from when I think of Marvel, even though I'm a DC. I don't think it's a secret. I like DC characters more, but
Right.
I admit the Marvel movies are just tons of fun, and I love them. Right.
Yeah.
So when I think of him, I remember the first Iron Man movie when he went to that village and freed those people in the first time he put on the Iron Man suit. Right. I remember even in the second Iron Man movie when Whiplash came, when they were at the racetrack. I remember in the after credit scene when Thor was introduced. I remember Captain America versus the Red Skull. I remember when Hawkeye was introduced in Thor. Like all these phase 1 and even Hulkbuster versus Hulk in Age of Ultron. I remember that. All these things that the Marvel Universe has given us, it's like they've definitely lost that magic, and now I don't believe they're going to get it back. I'm done believing it because this is a movie that is just like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, just like Thor: Love and Thunder, just like Black Widow, where they made a movie that you are completely going to forget about in 2 days. Like you're not gonna like all those movies I was just saying I remember them. I'm not gonna remember this movie in 2 days. I don't even remember how Doctor Strange ended. And I definitely don't even remember what happened to, the God Butcher in Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I don't care.
So yeah.
And just like those movies, this movie feels like it was made specifically for the after credit scene. We'll talk spoilers after this because we are not doing a separate spoiler video. Like I'm not talking about this movie again.
Yeah, they're open. Yeah, they open the door. It basically split the 3 characters onto a path of different movies. So like they split that's literally what this movie was.
That's what this movie was for, right?
Yeah.
And I hate the idea of a movie being made to set up another movie. They could have just not done this movie. They could have scrapped this movie and given us a trailer for what's coming in the future.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who are going to be talking about the last 10 minutes of this movie, but I can't just forget the first 100 minutes of this movie because of the last 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I hear you.
But my bad. My bad. I'm almost done, Joe. Let me just go. I promise.
Go.
Have you noticed how I haven't even talked about the plot yet? I normally start every review telling you what the movie's about.
Yeah.
I don't know what this movie was about. I have no idea. There's a villain who is like Ronan the Accuser. I think her name is Darbin. I'm not familiar with the character from the comic books. But in this movie, she's just like Ronan, and she hates Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Now, you know how I say people who are evil for no reason make me upset?
Yes.
She's not even evil for no reason. Like, you don't even understand this character. It feels like
she's not villainy enough. And that's exactly what I said. And me and Aisha agreed on it. Like, she's not villainy enough. It doesn't.
Yeah. Like, you remember the bad guy Ant-Man? He's a perfect example of a villain who was put in there to have to, he had the opposite powers of the hero, and he was just maniacal and evil. Yep. But at least the character, like, even though he had no depth at all, he was just shallow. At least there was something that, like you could at least see, oh, he's greedy. I get what he's doing, and you don't understand the reason he hates these people. You don't like all the issues I had with it, but you can at least get the base feeling that he is getting. With this woman, we get a couple flashbacks that are just clearly lazily done. A couple lines of exposition, and all of a sudden she's just opening portals to places because she wants to hurt the places that Captain Marvel has been.
Yes.
Because she hates Captain Marvel.
Yes. And they happen to have the resources that she needs.
And they happen to have the resources they need.
Yes.
And because Captain Marvel destroyed this, I can't, again, I'm all over the place because I don't even understand this plot. Yeah. But Captain Marvel destroyed the Kree Supreme Intelligence, which somehow caused the sun to go out, which affected their atmosphere. So she was going to steal another sun, steal some water, and steal atmosphere from 3 planets that Captain Marvel had been to. Yeah,
that she cares about.
Yeah, seriously, this villain was so bad. It's not even the actress's fault. This villain was so bad. I'm gonna stop there. I'm not even gonna talk about her anymore because I can't. Maybe Jovi can, but I can't.
I don't have. Again, she wasn't villainy enough. Like, her motivation was, you destroyed my planet by killing not to mention how horrible the Kree are. Like, we're not even going to talk about that, right? We're just going to, they're literally, like she says it, they took over 25% of the galaxy.
Yeah, bro, that's another thing. That's the thing. Like, this is what makes me so mad. and why I'm so ticked off that this director got this movie with like seriously the level of incompetence here.
Right.
The studio messed with her movie. I know they did.
It's not
They
fair,
had to.
bro.
Because
It's
like,
not.
look,
It's...
and I don't
Yeah.
know. I was not a fan of the first Captain Marvel movie. I will defend it because I think Brie Larson can actually act, and I
Yeah.
think she gets a lot of unfair hate. And I
But
even
she
didn't
does
like, I
because
didn't even like.
outside of her acting career, she says and does things. That's why people don't like her. It's not more. It's not necessarily they don't like her. They don't like her, not necessarily her as an actress. And it like kind of just Aisha has the same thing. It's just like, you know, why does she get so much hate? It's like,
Well, no, okay. So I agree.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who don't like her, but
yeah,
there are a lot of like people who just like they didn't like the fact that, you know, this woman was Captain Marvel and made $1 billion at the box office. They're like toxic fans, kind of like the Snyder fans.
It was a cool movie. I mean,
I didn't like it.
yeah, I think
I
it
like
was,
it for a lot of reasons. I didn't
I
think it was a
think it
good
was-
movie. I felt like it was shoehorned in.
yeah. I don't
Um,
say. I'm not saying it was. It's not on the top shit. It's definitely not in top 5. It's not on the
I think
top.
that's a movie that I'm gonna forget.
I don't remember a lot of it, but I'm saying
Yeah,
it was
but-
definitely watchable compared to some of the stuff that's been coming out.
Compared to them, but I know I would not go back and rewatch the first one. All I'm saying, but the point I'm trying to make is,
Yeah.
the character has not been done justice because I felt like, remember, her movie came out right before Infinity War, right?
Mhm.
No, was it before Infinity War or it was after Infinity War? It was before Endgame.
After Infinity War, before Endgame, because she
It was before Endgame because I remember she came after
came
everyone
at
had
the
been
end.
dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those, and I don't know if you remember that time, but those movies, like, I mean, that and the second Ant-Man movie, again, throwaway movies. But the character was never done justice,
Oh gosh.
and we don't
second Ant-Man
understand her
movie.
motivation. She was directed terribly in that first one, and in this one, again, because I think of studio interference, she's directed terribly again. Like in the first one, she felt like she had no emotion. In
Yeah.
this one, she feels like she's 4 different people with different emotions. Like, what is going on here? First, she's dramatic,
That's my
she
biggest.
tries to be funny.
Yeah, my biggest gripe. And I like said it while we were watching the movie, and like I think it came off the wrong way. Like I was like, I don't like this. I don't like there's a part in the movie, and I guess this is kind of like a spoiler. She's talking
is
to
it?
Monica, and she's just like, I didn't want you to see that side of me. You didn't what? You didn't
Yeah.
like this whole dramatic scene. I didn't want you to see that side of me. You didn't want me to see you destroy a group of people that legit are tyrants to the entire universe.
Yeah, man. Again, that line right there, that felt like it came out of Chat GPT. Seriously.
And that was when I'll that and the jumping around and that it didn't feel like there's certain parts of the film where it's like, wow, this is good. Wow, this is like this choreography is whoo, wow,
Yeah.
that was pretty dope. Oh, this makes sense. You guys are learning how to use your powers together. Cool. And then you get random scenes where you're like, this probably had a huge plot point in the original script, but
doesn't
make any sense in this new one.
I agree. Jovi, you hit the nail on the head with what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
There seemed to be 5 or 6 hours worth of movie not
Yes.
here, all
Yes.
from other cuts. Like that's why, like, there's probably a whole movie where Dar-Benn, the villain, and Captain Marvel have some sort of, you know, connection in the past that explains like their dynamic
Way
and why
more
Dar-Benn-
than her running and getting
Yeah,
rocks
man, more
dropped
than the
on her.
2-second flashback we got, right?
Yeah,
There's
way
probably
more
a
than-
whole movie where Monica and Captain Marvel have like a heart to heart, and we understand why Monica just doesn't want to talk to her, right?
Right.
And like there's probably I mean, there's definitely a whole movie where they show why Captain Marvel decided to just go destroy the Supreme Intelligence and how that
Right.
affects their son.
Right.
Like there's so much missing that
Yeah,
this again, I can't believe this cut of the movie was actually watched by somebody.
and it was, and like we said in the first minute, this movie was created and made to fail.
Yep.
It's trying to make a point. This was a very woman heavy film. This was a woman director, black
And
at
that's
that.
what's so disappointing, man.
And this is, you had a woman antagonist, like three women leads. Like, you're trying to say that this doesn't work. It does. It
It
really
does.
does. It sells. Look how much Barbie made.
Wonder Woman, the first one.
The first, like, it works. You just need to give it
Like, and
all.
here's my thing,
Yeah.
bro. This movie got delayed a lot. What was the point of the delays? Like, I don't understand. How do you delay it and give us this product?
I'll take the first cut where everybody was mad at Brie Larson on set, and we probably would have liked that film.
A lot better. What did you think of the visual effects? What did you think of the cats? Because the cats CG was terrible, bro.
The Flarkins.
I noticed that. I noticed it was so apparent.
So
that
yeah,
it
the
was CG. I
the
was like, wow,
Flarkins,
this is
they
bad.
didn't. Again, what do we always say? If you don't give the visual effects team time,
Mhm.
then you know what came at the end. You know what came late. That Flarkin plot, Wood Goose, was probably thrown in there just to be thrown in there.
I agree.
I'm
It was.
I'm saying all that. See, like, all right, I have all these gripes, and I definitely don't feel. I mean, kind of honestly, I think I like this more than Thor.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
I think I did. I don't like Thor: Love and Thunder at all.
I
I don't
don't
remember what
like
we gave that
Thor:
movie, but
Love
if I
and
gave it
Thunder.
anything higher
Yeah,
than a 2, it was a mistake.
yeah, I think if we could go back, we probably would give it a way lower score.
Mhm.
That would like justify my score for this. But all to say all that, and it's not that I like the storyline. I like the characters together.
So the
That's
Avenger, which we didn't even talk about.
yeah, like I enjoyed that. I it was very Guardian-esque.
Well,
And
here's
Samuel
the
L.
thing,
Jackson
Joey.
like was the comic relief, which I'm not the biggest fan of that, but he was funny as hell.
But
I
bro, so before real quick,
right.
because I got 2 things on what you just said,
So
but just that right there.
Nick's Theory is not supposed to be the comic relief.
How was he that funny?
Theory, sorry.
This movie must have been shot before Secret Invasion because he was completely different than he was in Secret Invasion.
He was.
It's the same man, 2 completely different characters. It would be like literally, it was like Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. Like they're 2 different people. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
at all.
Secret Invasion. He's very sad,
And serious and
very
stoic.
serious, and like if all this happened after, and it's just like you can tell that series was not supposed to be about Nick Fury. That series is supposed to be about Captain Marvel. These are 2 things. These are 2 projects that seem like they coincided, and they did not make the connection because it is very apparent. It's like super apparent that these conversations, these things were happening. Where the heck was she this entire time if she was that close to Earth? When
So Jovi, that leads me to what the first thing you said. I understand what you're saying. Like the 3 characters together, I think is cool.
yeah, I
like,
enjoyed that, and so I got through the movie because of that.
Yeah, and they're for reasons unknown. Or I'm sorry, maybe it was definitely a throwaway exposition line. Their powers get swapped. We didn't mention that.
Yes,
so whenever they use their powers together at the same time, they switch places.
Yeah.
And like Jovi said, there's a whole choreography scene when they figure this out and they're trying to do it. And also something else I can't forgive the movie for before I forget. This is the entire reason that Captain Marvel just doesn't finish everything off because she's crazy powerful, but she doesn't do it because she will swap with someone else while she's using her powers. Right. That's the only reason she doesn't kill the villain immediately or kill everybody else immediately. That is the reason the movie gives.
there are certain things
Fine.
where they are using their powers completely and they're not swapping.
Yeah, I know. The movie
And
forgets itself. That's
and
true.
I'm like, she just like destroyed like 10 guards, but stayed in the same spot.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man. I mean, like, yeah, just so like there are a lot of there are a lot of editing in movie and script problems, and we could. The movie was less than 2 hours. We could spend the entire runtime going through all of it. But I think at
Yeah.
the end of the day,
Yeah.
because I don't like harping on, I don't like being too negative for like a long time. What I said at the beginning is the truth. This is the main thing. This movie should not have come out. It was a throwaway movie to set up another movie, and it's disappointing for
Young
these characters
Avengers, Young
because, like Joby
Avengers,
said,
other
these characters are good,
multiverse. Yeah.
but they don't have any. Like, we didn't even get any chemistry between them, man. We didn't get a movie that had these three. Like the first Guardians. Do you remember? Like, we had them meet each other. They went to
Mhm.
prison together. They went to
Mhm.
nowhere together. They saved the world together.
Yep.
Like, we had time for them to get to know each other. These three, they kind of just threw them in these random places and jumped from scene to scene to scene and expected us to believe they have this emotional connection.
Right.
I'm not even gonna mention the whole singing planet thing because that Jovi, when I saw that, I was like, I'm done. I was so ticked
I
off.
saw a lot of people dislike that. I was sitting there like, yeah, this is a Thor Love and Thunder moment right now.
Yes.
And apparently I did see something. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be singing. It was supposed to be it is straight out of the comics. I forgot what it is.
It
But
could be comics accurate.
yeah,
But
it wasn't. No, yeah, it was like they chose to do singing, but it was something else. It was like very close to singing, but it wasn't singing. And it was like, so that was like overdid it. They put her in a Disney princess,
yeah,
dress,
man.
and it was like, okay. But again, I was sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna take this movie for what it is. 30 minutes in, you realize that this movie is not a dynamic thing that you're gonna sit and be like, I gotta see that again. It literally from the beginning, I'm like, this is setting up. Kamala kept saying, oh, this is a test, this is a test, this is a test. It's like, it's literally like we are setting up Young Avengers. Like
Yeah,
that's what we're doing right now. And then the whole X-Men thing. I was like, yes, guys.
but are you okay? Are you okay with that?
I'm not saying that I am not okay with because the movie took so long to come out. Right?
You said because of the what? I didn't hear you.
The movie took so long to come out.
Okay, okay. All right. So then I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
If the movie had come out, I think it was supposed I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe it was supposed to come out in March. If it had come out, it had to be like this was a rushed piece of crap and it set things up. But the fact that you took this long and you gave us this movie and you thought it was okay, like I'm somebody who like no, I just like it. They like there are certain studios, it's like, oh, because we're us, they're just gonna watch anything that we throw out. Like that's how DC used to do Batman.
No, that's
Batman v Superman. They're like, oh, they're gonna watch just because we're us. Like, no, we need to make a stand, y'all. Like, we can't.
No. They're realizing. They are realizing, and when you don't make half of what the movie costs, opening weekend, it's again. I still think it's a plan. I still think it's a plan to make a point. It doesn't matter, dog. Like you're going to have to have inclusion. You're going to have women stars. Like you gotta, these heroes sell. Like you got another black superhero that sells. Like, come on. Like this is an opportunity. Little girls, little boys loved Captain Marvel. People were buying them that ugly Brie Larson action figure that looked nothing like her. Like those were selling. Like now you got a whole new. You can make a Barbie with Monica. You can make a Barbie with Kamala.
Yeah, man. I feel like Monica. Seriously, she was done the dirtiest in this movie. as much as Brie Larson wasn't developed, or Captain Marvel wasn't developed, at least she had her whole other movie. Monica Rambeau, I mean, the WandaVision tease it wasn't fulfilled here.
Because we still didn't
she was put in this movie to set up another movie, and
we still weren't getting her full power. We got to see her. We got to see her absorb, both of their power to get the, which we will see eventually, like which she, her true power.
Real quick. My bad, because I want to get into spoilers so we can talk about that. But last thing I just want to say, I think if I wasn't clear, I don't know if I said this earlier, the lack of explanation about something as simple as their powers was troubling. I think it was something that was pointed out early on when they said you're gonna have to watch these Disney Plus shows to understand these characters. Well, I watched WandaVision. I mean, I didn't watch Ms. Marvel, so I didn't understand her. But I watched WandaVision, and I still don't understand how her powers were able to do what they did. It just didn't make any sense. And the second thing I want to say, you should wait to watch this. I don't think you should watch this. You should instead just go watch Loki. Loki season 2.
And so I haven't even.
Watch him fulfill his glorious purpose.
I haven't got to sit and watch Loki yet, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh. When you watch that is peak Marvel right there. That's some good stuff. But okay, so Jovi and I are about to start talking spoilers right now. If you haven't seen it, cut it off now. If you don't care, you can keep watching. You probably have seen it. It's been spoiled everywhere. But
I mean, I already spoiled the X-Men thing.
Huh?
I already spoiled the X-Men thing.
Well, we didn't talk. Excuse me. You didn't talk specifics. So first cut.
So they don't exist in this universe.
Who?
Mutants.
Well, see, I don't think so. Here's the thing. Let me say this about the mutant one, because we'll talk about both post-credit scenes. Actually, I guess there was only one post-credit scene, but we'll talk about the X-Men one. I don't think that it was meant to be like, this isn't a story path they're actually going to take. Let me say that. Because Kamala Khan,
she's just gonna be there.
No, I'm saying I feel like they're going to somehow explain, when Kang came, an incursion happened, so now our universes are mixed. And because Kamala Khan is a mutant, she has mutant DNA. That's how she was able to get her powers in the Ms. Marvel show.
Yeah.
So mutants do exist. And I feel like they did all of this to say, oh, it's another universe where, and I'm sorry, let's actually say what the scene is. So at the end of the movie, Monica Rambeau goes to another universe, another reality, because the villain opens a hole to another reality because there's a multiverse. Again, just watch Loki. It's much better. But anyway, and it also deals with the multiverse, if I'm saying it. But anyway, so Monica Rambeau crosses over to this other universe and closes the hole between universes, I guess, so they don't crash into each other. And she stays over there. And when she wakes up, she is in a room with someone who looks just like her mom, a young version of her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Beast from the X-Men.
Yes.
Dr. Hank McCoy in a white lab coat checking her vitals.
I love it. Does it really look like Beast? That I enjoy.
Yeah, it looked like Beast. It looked like the 90s X-Men Beast. I love that. And that's how they're introducing the X-Men.
And when she stands up, she's Captain Marvel. She's the original Captain Marvel. Like,
is that what that outfit was? I wasn't sure.
Yes. That's what it is. Because
okay, so the actress who plays her mother stands up and she's Captain Marvel.
She's supposed to be, that's when they first introduced her. I was just like, oh, that's a nod to, in the first Captain Marvel movie. Like, that's a nod to, yes, the first Captain Marvel was a black woman. I mean, we have computers in front of us.
Oh, is she the one that the original Captain Marvel got her powers from?
She's the original Cap. Like, that's why she was in the, like, this is all why, like, even the names, like, all that stuff was important. And which was weird. I was like, did they not think back then that they could make Captain Marvel like a black woman?
Wait, what? I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
The original Captain Marvel, if you look at the original Captain Marvel in the comics, was
Mhm.
a black woman.
Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that.
Yes. So
Okay.
that even when they introduced her in the original movie, it was like, oh, that's a nod to her being the original Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. They made her a side character instead.
Okay. It's in the original Captain Marvel movie.
Yes. And
Okay.
then we already knew that Monica was going to get powers from that because she does get powers in the comics too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I so
Yeah.
I knew
So
I've only
all of that,
known
like
Carol
that was
Danvers.
all like foreshadowing. Like, oh, okay, she's the other Captain Marvel, but you're the original, and your daughter gets powers too.
Yeah. So I knew that her mother had powers. I didn't know she was Captain Marvel, but
Yeah,
I got you. I'm with you.
yeah, yeah,
Um but yeah, so yeah, that's our tease at the end of the movie.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. My theater, people were cheering. And I might have been the only one just shaking my head like, no. Like you can't do this, yo. Like that's all everyone's going to talk about. They're not actually going to talk about the movie we paid money to see, which is a
Yeah.
problem to me.
Yeah.
Um
You're excited for the last 5 seconds.
right.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. But to answer you, yeah, I don't know what I don't believe, and this is another reason why I'm not excited because we've had teases before that didn't pan out to anything. And I mean, look, like what in the Eternals. Excuse me, Blade was in the end of that movie. We
Yeah.
didn't have a release date for the Blade movie yet, and we don't even know if it's happening.
It's
And
been
this one, they
it's
teased the X
been
Men.
rewritten, and now it's going to be rated R. I'm happy about that. I'm not
Okay.
happy. It's taking forever. You have, and this is my thing, and I know nobody watches our stuff. I know nobody important watches this, right? You have some amazing writers that already exist that write comic books. Comic book writing is like novel quality writing, which can be turned into a script. It's literally people talking back and forth with pages drawn that you can literally turn into live action. We have a Blade story already.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Blade story that's connected to that post-credit scene already. Why the hell didn't y'all just make the movie right off that? The, the werewolf movie that Marvel made, that could be part of the
Oh,
Blade
Werewolf by
movie.
Night. That was actually
Yeah,
really good.
it was really good. All of that is already done for you. What is taking so long? And why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all putting these things that are going to propel Marvel back into the shop, the big time? And I
Well,
don't get it.
so to be
I don't
fair,
get it.
first off, I don't think there's no it's never going to be as good as it was from that point from like 2008 to 2015. That's gone. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah,
But to be fair, Marvel, I feel like there's a writer, her name is Gail Simone. She writes a lot of the Batgirl comics, or she wrote. And when DC was having all their issues, it's like, hey, they're actual comic writers who do this. So I'm saying,
yeah.
I guess I get your criticism, but it's not just a Marvel thing. I guess it's just a Marvel and DC thing now that I'm thinking about it. But
Right.
I guess what I'm saying is I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, you could have comic writers come in.
And just kind of fix stuff too.
But they'll argue, and it's necessarily not a bad thing. They take inspiration from comics, but they always do their own thing,
They do.
which in the past kind of worked.
Right.
Age of Ultron,
Right.
even the Thor story, and then it stopped working with like Secret Invasion, which is nothing like the comic book. But then
Which
Civil
we were
War,
so
it
excited. So
was
excited
so
for Secret Invasion because it was
yeah.
supposed to open doors to Secret Wars. And
Yeah, so
Like,
Jovi, that just leads to the whole thing that I want to get. The
yeah,
whole Young Avengers tease when
yeah,
Kamala Khan came and was talking to Kate Bishop and said we're going to talk to Ant-Man's daughter. The whole Beast
yeah,
reveal with the X-Men.
yeah.
I don't care about any of it until Kevin Feige comes back and tells us what the new plan is. I don't care. I don't believe it.
So
We
you
don't have a
think
Fantastic Four yet. This still hasn't been casted. We don't
we
have
don't have a
X-Men
Fantastic
yet. It hasn't been
Four?
casted.
We don't have a
Blade
Doctor
has been
Doom.
delayed.
Like,
The
are they
Eternals,
going?
we don't even know if we're going to get a sequel to Eternals because the movie didn't do well, even
Right.
though the ending credit scene, the multiple ending credit scenes, left us with something to look forward to. So I don't care. That's what I'm saying. I don't care, and they need to give us a plan. They need to stop and come up with a plan, and then I will be excited again. So I don't even believe that this end credit scene is a thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're getting what Echo. We're getting Echo, which
Mhm.
means the Kate Bishop. All that happened.
Yes.
She exists. We know Isaiah's grandson is eventually going to get shot and get his powers.
Who is Isaiah?
The first Captain America.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's a show that I do not remember. I did not
Yeah.
even like that.
So, he gets a blood transfusion after getting shot in the mean streets of Baltimore from his grandfather, which
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
and that's how he gets his powers.
Yeah.
So we have him. Yeah, and then we got Thunderbolts. If you guys are still listening, I know this has nothing to do with. We're just going off that all these movies are supposed to come out from past credit scenes, post credit scenes that didn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
It
Like,
feels like
Joe,
a
I just want to like
cluster.
doing this with you, bro, because it's
Yeah,
like I feel like sometimes I ramble on, but
yeah,
you understand the core of what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. No, it
All this
feels
stuff, nothing has happened.
it
So
feels
why
like
should I be excited now?
a cluster for and like, but I also can say that I don't know if I want a reset either, because I don't know if they're going to be able to do a reset. And this idea that everybody original Avengers coming back.
Yeah, that's Kevin Feige said he doesn't know where that rumor started. Thank God.
Yeah,
I don't need I don't need a DC level hard reset,
no,
but I do need them to just stop
right.
and be like, okay, we're gonna pick up here. We're gonna just tell new stories that work because just throw it I mean, it's a tale as old as time for any industry. There's a such thing as too much of a good thing. You throw everything, people are gonna get tired of it.
Yeah,
Video games in the 80s. Remember there was almost a destruction of the video game industry because it just kept throwing stuff.
yeah.
Like, nah, man. And I sound like I know I sound like I'm hating on Marvel, and I'm because I
I
hate
feel
its
like,
current
yeah.
I
I
heard
mean,
its current state, but I love the MCU, so it
everybody's
needs to get better.
everybody's feeling that way. Everyone is the quote unquote Marvel fatigue, because Disney, 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 Disney'd. Disney's like, I'm gonna give you like this? You like this? I'm gonna give you something every 3 to 4 months. I'm gonna give you something quarterly so that you don't forget about Marvel. We weren't gonna forget. We waited before y'all took over in between these films.
Yeah,
We did, and we waited and we enjoyed it. When they were like, no, and I feel like they're gonna do the same thing with Star Wars.
yeah. Yeah, just give us a bunch. Yeah, I agree, and that's gonna make me upset.
Yeah.
We don't have time to go into that.
Right.
Oh my
But
god.
no, I'm done. I'm done. And
Yeah.
it's like, thank you for listening to our rant. If you're still here,
Yeah, if you're still here, thank you for this 30, almost 40 minutes, y'all.
yeah,
Thank you. This was more than a review. This was a discussion.
right.
Joby, if you were to give this a review, get rating out of 5, what would you give it?
I'm gonna go like with a very critical 3.5.
I'm gonna go with 2. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, a 2. I
You really
will
didn't
not
like
watch
it.
this movie again.
Yeah.
And I think that it because it came out if it came out early in 2016, I might have given it a 3 or a 4, like in
Right.
early 2010.
I think I
But
would have gave
in
it a 4 if
2023,
yeah.
no, I can't. So no.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, y'all. Captain Marvel, thank you for listening to us just rant about this movie. Much longer than we anticipated. But hey, out of everything we talked about, let us know what you think. Future of the MCU, future of these characters. Just let us know what you think right down there in the comments, y'all. Appreciate your listening. And until next time, we out.
Deuces.